welcome to the show. For some reason, I was thinking about people who have a natural talent, a gift of some sort, maybe for dancing or painting, perhaps the sciences, or singing, whatever it is. But I believe if you have a natural ability, a gift, and you don't use it, you always have a certain kind of dissatisfaction. I'm going to talk about this and other things with today's guest, Willow Reichelt. So, Willow, thank you.
Nancy.
First of all, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
What do you think about my comment about this dissatisfaction?
I totally agree with that, actually. I was a teacher for 14 years in the school district, and there were things I liked about that, there were things I didn't, but I had been an art student at one point at university and then never pursued that. And so when I quit teaching, one of the main factors was that I would then pursue artwork afterwards. So.
Oh, but okay, so let's just get back to when you were in school. Why did you take art to begin with, you know?
I'd always been artistic as a child growing up. I always had art supplies. I always drew and painted and just made things. So I did my first year of university. I was in general arts, like humanities essentially. Right. And then I decided, wait, no, what I want to do is study art. So I switched faculties to the fine arts faculty in my second year. I did 2 years of visual arts at UVic. I did switch back and got a degree in English, but then when I went into teaching, I had enough art courses to be an art and English teacher. People always ask me what kind of art I do, and it's always kind of hard for me because I'm always I haven't actually settled. So the idea when I quit teaching was that I was going to focus on artwork, but then it's stressful having to make money off artwork. So I went and I got a medical transcription certificate. So I was doing medical transcription part-time for 3 years,
Okay.
And then trying to do art. And then the company I was working for kept increasing the amount of transcription I needed to do, so I still didn't have time for art. So then I quit that,
All right.
and we sold our house so we'd have no mortgage, so I could just focus on art, and then I got into politics. So I still haven't really focused, so I just brought a few things that I've done. So when I first quit teaching, I was thinking, okay, well, I need to do something marketable that's artistic. So I was making jewelry. So here's some polymer clay jewelry that I made. This is...
Can you see that?
I did...
That's lovely.
Thank you. So I did original drawings with pencil crayon and then scanned them on my computer, and they're image transferred to the clay so I can make multiples of the same image.
Oh, awesome.
This is one too that's like that. This is pretty neat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, very good.
This is a needle felted little woman.
A what did you call it?
Needle felting. So
okay, I know,
you get
but
basically wool roving, and then there's these needles that have barbs on them, and you stab them, and you keep stabbing till it comes together.
Like voodoo?
Kind of, yeah. So she has a skeleton essentially made out of batting that was wrapped in thread, and then you just add the felt,
I've never seen
top.
that. I never. Oh, that is so cool. That is so. And it's very light too.
Yeah. This is a doll that I made. The face is done with bead weaving, not on a loom, off loom bead weaving. So I've done a bunch of beading, but I only brought this one.
Right. That's really nice. This is fascinating.
This is a strange doll that I just made recently because I just wanted to do a random project. So he's a doll. His body is stained with tea and coffee to make him look old, and he's got his wild hair.
That's excellent. I wish I had a display stand. Well, let me just put this up here for now. Yeah, there we go.
The main thing that I've been doing, despite being really busy, is I've been doing fabric design. So there's a website called Spoonflower where you can upload your own images and then it gets printed on fabric. So I've made a couple things for myself, some clothing and stuff, but the thing is that you can sell it to other people. So I can upload my designs, then other people buy it for their own projects, and I get a commission for my design.
Right.
So,
that's fascinating.
Yeah. So, and then they do weekly contests, which I've been doing just to keep myself like in the creative mood. So even if I don't have other things I'm doing, I can just do a design every week, mostly every week.
Awesome. Okay, we're just going to, before you show us that piece, we're going to take a quick break,
no
okay?
problem.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I wanna know about you, your life's a story. I wanna know about you,
Well, we're back, and I'm talking with Willow Reichelt, and we're talking about her artwork. So what is this you have here?
So one of the projects that I did on Spoonflower was that I made a quilt for my son with all of his favorite things in it. So this is a quilt that I made him. Every fabric on here I designed myself. So his favorite things, we've got penguins, cats, snails, squirrels, crabs, pop, butterflies.
Right.
So
Oh.
all of those fabrics are his ideas, like his suggestions for topics, and then I designed them.
I want to talk about your politics.
Yes.
You're getting into politics. So where did that come from?
Well, I've always been someone who believes in social justice and that kind of thing. So, but I'm also not. I've never been much of a joiner particularly. So I've always been in a quiet way, sort of supported things behind the scenes, and then. And right after the American election, there was the American election where Donald Trump was elected.
Right.
There was the mosque shooting in Quebec,
Right.
and a bunch of cities were having rallies in support of Muslim immigrants to show that that's not what we believe in Canada. Or, anyways, and then Chilliwack wasn't doing one.
Right.
And I was stomping on my house saying, like, why doesn't someone do something? Why doesn't somebody do something? And I'm like, I'm somebody, I could do that. So I put a call out on Facebook to my friends saying, I think I want to organize this thing, but I've never organized anything in my life. And people stepped up and helped me, and we got a rally together. So we had about 300 people, I think, show up in the middle of winter.
Wow.
To support diversity and inclusion. So that was really cool.
Good for you.
And then because I got a little bit known for that, then after we had a local politician say some discriminatory things about gay and trans people in our
Right.
district, I was approached by some people to organize a rally in support of LGBTQ youth, which I did. And then through doing that, I decided to run for office myself. So, and I also helped organize the Women's March
Right.
that happened in Chilliwack.
Right.
Yeah, so I just, one thing sort of led to another. Once I got involved with one thing, that just kept me going, so.
It's good. It's hard, not easy for some people to stand up and make their voice known, but you did, so that's really awesome.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's important for people who are born with any kind of privilege to stand up
Right,
and use
yeah.
that privilege. We've got, if you're a white, straight person, you have
Yeah.
a certain amount of privilege, so you should use it for the greater good.
I agree. So now let's talk about your political career. What exactly do you do?
So I'm a school trustee. So it was a really good way for me to get into politics because I have a teaching background.
Right.
And although I gave up teaching, there are things I'm still very passionate about with education. So I'm able to bring that to the table.
So what does a school trustee do?
That's a good question. A lot of people ask me that. People aren't totally aware. So a school trustee basically sets policy for the district. So we don't go into classrooms and tell people how to teach,
Right.
but we set policy. So,
Such as? Can you give me
well, for example, when French immersion came to Chilliwack, a school board would have had to make that decision,
Oh,
for example.
okay.
But then we don't go into schools and tell them how to do that. That would be
Yeah.
the superintendent directs the staff to do all that kind of stuff.
Right.
We also pass the budget. So that's actually the biggest thing. That's the main thing that the school board does. So we have a strategic plan in the district, and then the budget is supposed to support the strategic plan. So it's all about student achievement. So we
Right.
want to pass things in the budget that actually go towards helping students do better and increasing grad rates and all that kind of stuff.
So now, how are our schools doing overall, like as far as the children being, like I imagine there's a scale, like comparison things, like Chilliwack school districts compared to other districts?
Well, our grad rates are very favorable compared to other districts. We're actually doing quite well. We're above the provincial average. We've made huge strides with closing the gap between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal grad rates. They're only off by less than 10% now, where it used to be about 30% different. So
right.
that's a real victory in Chilliwack.
Yeah.
And our reading and writing assessments, they're comparable to the average. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other aspirations when it comes to politics?
I haven't really thought beyond that. I'm still getting my bearings on this,
you're
this
still
new
fairly
gig
new.
that I'm doing. Yeah, I've only been a trustee since October and only sworn in November, so I haven't been looking forward to other political opportunities yet.
Well, unfortunately, we're out of time.
Okay.
But it's been really great that you've been here. I really appreciate it. And thank you for bringing your beautiful artwork.
Thank you, Nancy.
All right? And thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. In the meantime, peace out.